all you Comanche purists out there, I had to cut off the entire bedside. Let me show you pre-runner guys something cool. These are called leaf springs. This is actually the original window sticker.
Day 69, out of the King of the Hammers, and I found you guys another cool rig to do another build to destroy on. That is a Comanche, and its owner's right here, Connor.
Hello.
What's up, man? How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, man. You got this really cool Jeep Comanche. So give us a little background on yourself. I see you're wearing a Barnes 4-wheel drive hat, Barnes 4-wheel drive shirts. Do you work for Barnes 4-wheel drive or something?
Yeah, so I'm the sales and marketing manager at Barnes 4-wheel drive. We're in Asheville, North Carolina area. So we do DIY fab parts, a lot of Jeep stuff. We're starting to dip our toes kind of into the Bronco, Gladiator, Overland scene as well. So yeah, it's kind of what we specialize in.
So where'd you get the glass from?
So the glass is from McNeil Racing. These are from McNeil Racing,
okay.
And then those are Hanneman.
Okay.
It's kind of funny. McNeil makes the front, doesn't make the rear. Hanneman makes the rear, doesn't make the front. This is a
started bumper.
Yeah, our Barnes 4-wheel drive. We make these. These are our Pritchett Canyon bumpers.
Okay.
So you know they're all tube, and then you know we got some dimple dyed plate in there to keep them kind of light. I think the bumper only weighs like 50 pounds or something.
Okay.
And we actually make bumper brackets that adapt this. This is technically a JK bumper.
Okay.
But we make brackets that adapt these to XJs and MJs. So they're like slotted, so you can pull the bumper out as far as you want or in as far as you want. Mine's pretty far back. I have a worn XD9000 winch, and I actually had to cut the entire cross member back. There's a cross member like right here.
Okay.
Totally cut that out. Had to put some bracing and stuff back in there to fix that, but yeah, it fits pretty good.
Yeah, it looks great, man.
Yeah, I tucked my solenoid in here. And that's where I like to plug up. So anytime I need to winch or something, I just reach right there, and there's my plug. And then I had to cut out a little spot here for my little lever there, but it ends up working pretty good.
Yeah. How about front suspension here? What do you got going on this thing?
So that's just Skyjacker springs. That's a 6-inch. The truck's technically lifted 6 inches. And then that's a Bilstein 5100 shock. And then I've got some quick disconnects, and the front axle is actually out of a TJ Dana, or it's a TJ Dana 44. So the TJ Wranglers came with these.
Okay.
It's currently covered in Johnson Valley dust and a little bit of power steering fluid.
A little bit. Right on.
But yeah, so Iron Rock track bar, steering. I've got Redneck Ram Hydro Assist. We just put that on right before we came here.
How's that working out for you?
It helps a lot when you lock the front end, because this has the factory TJ locker in it.
Okay.
When you lock the front end, I mean, if you get wedged up, you're not turning the wheels at all. So you kind of have to have that if you're going to get into any kind of serious rocks.
Gotcha.
And yeah, so these are 37s, KM3s. We do a lot of work with BFG, with the BFG Garage. We're a partner of that. So
Pro 6 bar.
Yep.
How come you only got 4 uncovered? Is it just enough?
Yeah, you just gotta tease them. You just gotta let them know. The middle 4 are spots, and then these 2 outers on each side are floods.
Gotcha.
So honestly, out here the floods kind of get.
Yeah.
They make the dust light up more.
What rock sliders are these?
So made these myself out of just some 2x4 tubing. Yeah. So just welded them straight to the unibody. I have a 3-link kit in this thing. It's a long arm. And then I've got a Stinky Fab transfer case skid, and these are their brackets, and then I used all of our Barnes parts to make the links.
Okay.
So these are our enduro joints, and then we sell stuff like tube inserts, jam nuts, and tubing.
Okay.
And welded on our axle link brackets, so they're like skidded up to protect the joints. And then I have a Tomwich drive shaft. It's a little bit beefier than stock. That way, if it gets hit on a rock or something, it's going to survive. And then I welded these rockers right here to these Stinky Fab brackets, because these unibodies on these trucks are just so thin.
Right.
You really can't weld.
Is this one like an XJ to where you got to do the whole unibody strengthening kit?
It's a little bit different because they call it a uniframe, which I think it's just still a unibody. So technically the bed can come off So it's not technically a unibody.
Huh.
It's the exact same as an XJ from right here forward. So everything forward, you can just buy it for an XJ and it'll fit. But yeah, a lot of guys do the frame stiffeners up front, and then they have to typically modify the center section because it's not as long. I don't have any frame stiffeners on this. I haven't had any issues yet, so we'll see. I mean, I've wheeled it decently hard and haven't had
there's
much problem.
Decent battle scar right here.
Yeah, I did that yesterday.
Oh no, yesterday.
Yeah. I felt that. I was on Boulder Dash and I felt that hit and I thought it was this. So I was like, oh, it's a slider. And then I got out and I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Not the Chief.
Yeah. Hit that brand new decal I paid for.
Dang it. So what do we got going on the rear? So these are Hanneman bedsides, you said, right?
Yeah. These are Hanneman bedsides, and for all you Comanche purists out there, you probably want to cover your ears, but I had to cut off the entire bedside. So behind this, there is no more metal. It's totally hollow up in there. So from here to here, there's only fiberglass. So
right.
I wanted to try to save the bedside and maybe keep it on there somehow and just like put this over it, but it was just going to be too much work. But yeah, Hanneman fiberglass. These are the front and the rear are +4 bulge. So I thought it was good enough, and it kind of lines well with the tire. And then I actually got this off of eBay because this is where my fuel filler was, and this is actually just for like boats. So made a custom little fuel filler, and you just open this guy and twist it open, and then you can fill her with fuel.
Oh, right on.
So
heck yeah.
That worked out pretty good. And then I just made some like little supports to kind of keep them from bouncing around.
Right.
Just out of some like little aluminum stock. And then, let's see, this is our bed rack. So we actually just came out with this like a month ago. This is our Axis bed rack. It's universal, so it can be adjusted in height and width. And we sell it in 2 different lengths. Okay. So we can put this on like a Tacoma. We put it on like full-size trucks like Rams and Silverados and stuff. Or if you're like me and you got a little Toyota wheel and rig or a Comanche or something, you can put it on there.
Yeah, like all the adjustability here, guys. Since there's a bunch of holes.
Yeah, it can be adjusted like 10 inches in width or something. Okay. And then it can be taller than my cab, way taller if I want it to be. So I like to keep it about like a half rack because I do have a tent. I run tent tracks, tents, and I didn't put it on here because it adds weight and stuff, but I like to keep it below the cab, so a little more aerodynamic. This girl, she drinks a lot of gas. So but yeah, and I've got KC, you probably can't see them right now, but I've got KC RGBs all throughout this.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So those help a ton when I'm camping with my wife or something and we got to get a bunch of stuff out of the bed. We pack this thing pretty full when we go camping and stuff.
Right on, man.
So yeah.
He's got his high lift over here. Got his fire extinguisher. How about rear suspension on this thing, man? What's going on with the rear suspension?
Let me show you pre-runner guys something cool. These are called leaf springs, and these are.
Yeah, we know what those are for. Those go on trees, right?
Yeah, these are 32-year-old leaf springs. This is actually the stock leaf pack.
Interesting.
I didn't do anything to it. The only thing I did was these trucks come, you can still see the perches. They come with the leaf springs under the axle.
Okay.
And I flipped them over.
Okay, just to get the lift out of it?
Yeah, so I thought, in theory, I was only supposed to gain like, so this is a Ford 8.8 out of a Ford Ranger. Yep. And I was supposed to gain like, maybe 3.5 inches of lift, but it's pretty level with the front. And so I don't really know. So I was expecting to have to do like add a leaf or something, but didn't end up having to.
What about some Devers? Do they make Devers for these things?
They do, man, but honestly, if I was gonna pay that much, I'd probably just go link kit, especially with what we do. That's kind of our thing. Yeah. I'd really love, my dream is to have trailing arms on it one day. Yeah. Maybe do some coilovers up into the bed or something. But
or even honestly, just like a 3-link panhard bar setup or something.
Yeah, something like that. But honestly, like it's so hard to talk myself into it because the leaf springs work so good. Yeah. Like this thing has so much flex for how high it is. And really, where I live, we don't have dunes and we don't have big whoops or anything. So it's kind of like, man, do I really need to do all that work and spend all that money just to come out to Johnson Valley once a year?
you don't really need the 12 leaf pack to go wheeling out in the Carolinas. So
the front and rear 410 gears.
Okay.
This has an Eaton E-locker in it, and Bilstein 5100 shocks again, and the front and rear both have chromoly shafts. So
okay.
This is the 31 spline 8.8, so it's the bigger shaft 8.8.
Yeah.
And it came with disc brakes, so that was nice.
Heck yeah.
So this is what we call our solid axle swap kits. So a lot of guys where we're from, like I said, use leaf springs. So we sell solid axle swap kits that come with a U-bolts, U-bolt plates, shock mounts, and everything to do leaf springs on an axle. And so that's what you see. So that's our heavy-duty U-bolt plates, 5/8 thick U-bolts, and our anti-wrapped leaf spring purchase. So our leaf spring purchase are really long.
Oh, okay.
That way it fights, wrapping, axle wrap.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then I've got heavy-duty diff cover on there. I actually don't even know whose diff cover that is. it was on the axle when I bought it, and it just kind of works. So
run it.
So yeah, run it.
And how about this rear bumper? This is
So I built this with my buddies at work. So we actually have a little thing we call Muff Cuts Racing, because we ended up cutting a lot of mufflers off of everybody's rig. So actually one of the design guys named AJ, he designed me these plates that bolt into the factory mounts. And yeah, they use this 4-bolt system, and then we took a piece of tubing and we bent it all the way around the truck. So this is one solid piece.
Yeah, super clean. And gave yourself a little bit of room here to step in if you need
exactly.
to.
Yeah, so I was gonna contour it to the bed.
Yeah. But
I thought, why not have something I can step on,
Right. Hey, we're filming over here. There's people in these dang golf carts. They're everywhere. How about the interior? Let's take a look at that. Here, why don't you go over this side and I'll pop in through the other door.
So yeah, this is the inside. So like I said, this is a Chief. So a lot of these Comanches had bench seats and they didn't have a center console. Well, the Chief was kind of like, I think of it as like the Sahara, nowadays. It's kind of like a higher level trim package. So it had bucket seats. The bucket seats were garbage, and I tried to save them. I really wanted to keep this thing fully stocked, but ended up going with some Corbu seats. I think these are called the Moabs, but yeah, they fit in here perfectly.
Yeah.
They still can roll forward, so I can get all my stuff, because I mean I need to utilize all the space I can. This cab's not very big, but yeah, everything else is totally stock. So, and I really love that about the truck. So stock gauges, everything's real 80s looking. Stock.
You got your switches, a couple switches for some stuff.
Yeah.
Lights.
So and these are actually factory switch spots.
Oh,
so
right on.
I didn't even cut. I didn't have to make these. These came with this, and I just cut it out, and it fit perfectly. So yeah, I've got the Pro 6 ambers for the front, and then over here where nobody else can reach, that way nobody turns them on, I've got my lockers.
Oh, okay.
And everything still works. So little things that are kind of hard to find nowadays, like these little lights. If you open this guy here, like there's a little light in there, stuff like that. You kind of just,
And then this thing is stick shift. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought I wanted a stick shift, and I love driving this thing on the road. It's so fun. But man, I really had to get lower gears in the rocks. This has just the stock MP231 transfer case. So I don't have a low enough crawl ratio, but I'm gonna put a doubler in it once we get home. Hopefully we're taking this to Moab too. For EJS, and hopefully she'll be, lower before then. So
right on.
I've got kicker audio in here. That is the one other thing I did change. So you kind of can't see them. I tucked them in the door panels and everything to
I guess they're under here or something.
Yeah. So this thing actually, it's pretty loud, which I like, because this has 32-year-old door and window seals. So when you're going like 70 down the highway, you gotta have a loudspeaker to hear it. So I looked for a long time for a Comanche, and I found a guy in Alabama. He actually worked for NASA, and he bought this. He bought this thing brand new, and this is actually the original window sticker for this girl. She was $14,489 back in 1988.
$14,489.
Yeah,
that's one hell of a deal.
He had every record ever for this thing, like tires, oil change. He bought a new battery, and I mean, it was cool because it had the mileage of the truck too on those records, and you could see like 8,000 miles, 20,000 miles, and it was like, wow, this guy has kept everything.
Well, Connor, man, really appreciate you showing us this thing. Super unique vehicle. A pretty rare truck. It's day 69 out here. I need to go take a shower and a nap. Once again, Connor, what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is just at Connor Trent, and Barnes is at barnes.4wheeldrive.
There you go.
So there we go.
So if you guys have questions for Connor on this build, hit us with a comment down below, and then I'm sure he'll be able to answer it on YouTube, or head to his Instagram page, send him a DM.
Yeah.
You're cool with people hitting you up and asking you questions?
Absolutely. I love answering questions.
Right on. With all that said, you guys, we really appreciate all your support. If you guys like what you see on this channel, you want to see more, just let us know. What do you guys want to see? Leave us a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, so we can keep doing what we're doing and bring you guys awesome content. For that, we're out of KOH. I think I'm done. I don't think I have any other Built to Destroys out here. So see you guys later. See you at the next one. Thank you so much.
Later.
Yeah.